And so there's like thousands of these things all over. And so while I'm feeling depressed because my entire worldview has been obliterated by these esoteric texts that I cannot read, I'm going around and I'm marveling at these candles, and I'm like whacking the Grim Reaper. I'm like, can you see these things? He only had to light them once, and that's it. They've been burning in this cyclical fashion for thousands of years. So the thing that was really bothering me at the time was like, is there a Rosetta Stone? Right? How can I read these texts? What's the point of winning a lottery ticket to see the secret underground Vatican library that has the entire alternate history of humankind and of the galaxy and possibly the universe, because there's probably 10 floors. You know, you have to get another lottery ticket to get to the other floors of the Vatican secret library. And I'm like, I can't read any of this, but I know that everything that I've ever been taught is necessarily false, because no one knows about this except for a handful of people, and then there's a larger handful that know it exists, right? But it's very select few, and I got a window into it for $5. And I'm like, I can't go back out there. I can't go back out there. I can't live life again like some normal person. That's impossible. Because my whole life I'm going to be wondering what it is that's in this library. Right? What it is. What will you do? Well, I can tell you something. I can just bet that Mr. Grim Reaper librarian here had the same question 700 years ago when he was lighting up the candles for the first time. When he won the equivalent of a lottery ticket 700 years ago, whatever that was. So, eventually, imagine you go in there, you see these books, your worldview falls apart. You know you can't go back to your previous reality. You're like, maybe I'll be a librarian. Maybe I'll spend the rest of my time here, because I could promise you something. Mr. Red Eyes there, he could probably read all these books. He's got the answer. But then, of course, you get into the very, very esoteric meta problem of what do you do with so much knowledge once you know what's going on? And of course, there is millions of books, millions of tomes. Which one of them are right, which are wrong, and which are just kind of mostly right, but also wrong? Which ones are mostly wrong and somewhat right? How can you tell? What is going to be your rubric of interpretation that allows you to establish the veracity of whatever you're reading? Your life becomes about research for the truth. And you end up being this kind of 700-year-old Grim Reaper with the bony fingers and the red eyes, because you're so concerned for the truth that you just never end up getting out and living, because your old worldview has been destroyed, and you got to spend your entire time reconstructing your worldview that no longer makes sense. It's like Fear and Loathing in the secret Vatican library. I have the disease of research now to figure out how to replace the detonated worldview that preceded my entrance into the secret Vatican library, and then I spent my whole life researching, which is now a life that consists of thousands and thousands of years, because eventually I ended up reading the books that allowed me to learn how to extend my life through candles. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm obviously going to have to kill off this librarian who is already dead, who also knows how to do quantum teleportation and move in between various dimensions. So it's going to be very difficult. He's got a scythe. I'm sure of it. I don't know where he keeps it. Some kind of closet, custodial closet around here. I could probably just go at his head in one fell swoop and become the new librarian. And eventually, 700 years from now, I'll go to that copy machine in the back, get on Adobe Photoshop, print me out a lottery ticket, and quantum teleport to New York City, stick it in that deli for when I need the next librarian to replace me.